What's up, everyone? My name is Max.
And I'm Matt.
And welcome to Sega Saturn Saturdays. Welcome back, folks. Sega Saturn Saturdays continues, and we're going to be looking at another one of the sequels to the launch game that we covered. I think this was our first episode. No, our first episode was Daytona.
Yeah.
It was like Panzer Dragoon.
And Panzer Dragoon was next. Now, again, Panzer Dragoon was probably the most impressive launch title for the Sega Saturn, which really ushered in a new era of presentation, media, story, everything.
Totally agree.
And, of course, they were going to follow that up with a sequel with Panzer Dragoon 2 ZWEI, which, German for 2, it's kind of redundant when you think about it.
Yeah. It kind of sounded cool.
Yeah, but one thing that always kind of surprised me about ZWEI, because I didn't actually play ZWEI till much later, was it's a prequel, actually. It takes place, I believe, before the first Panzer
Wow, I
Dragoon.
didn't even know that. And I really like the Panzer Dragoon games and Saga.
What it does is it's not too much graphically superior to 1, even though it came out later, but what it does is it's more fluid, it's faster paced, and they throw a lot more at you on screen just from the get-go.
Yeah, one of the bigger things of the original Panzer Dragoon game on the Saturn was the fact that you went to fight against these kind of large-scale bosses, like big ships and crazy creatures, and well, not as much creatures, they were more like mechanical things that you fought in the first one. However, in Panzer Dragoon ZWEI, they bump everything up. You go to way more different locations. You go through like crazy cavernous steampunk tunnels. You go through like underground lakes, forests, deserts, snow-ridden wastelands, and then eventually a gigantic battleship at the end of the game. There's a lot of crazy stuff, and there's this huge level progression system, but we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I think some of the more important things to highlight is kind of the scale and scope, similar to the original Panzer Dragoon. ZWEI took it, and it pretty much times it by 4. It's got an amazing story. It's actually got a really heartwarming opening cutscene that actually gets you really attached to this boy and this dragon he finds while he tries to protect it from the Empire that wants it, because they want the dragon to kill everything type of scenario, which is like how Panzer Dragoon pretty much goes. But then you get this dragon that goes with you, and it progresses and levels up depending on your actual personal playstyle, which is crazy to think like back in the day.
I mean, this is kind of stuff people talk about nowadays where like, oh, look at our feature, we now have like this leveling system, and like, it's suited to your playstyle, the game watches how you do it. And this is stuff people still talk about as if it's like a revolutionary new thing.
It's not really like a pick your like, I made a moral choice adventure.
Right,
it's not like that. It's based off how many times like you're able to dodge attacks and shoot guys, and how long your overall playtime is and stuff like that. So it's actually pretty interesting, and we're going to go ahead and jump into this and show you a little bit of one of the best sequels on the Sega Saturn, which was actually a follow-up to one of the better games on the system already. So, are we ready for Panzer Dragoon ZWEI?
Yep.
Let's do this.
Okay, so here we go with Panzer Dragoon ZWEI. The opening cutscene for this game is long, like pretty much just as long as the first one, and I think that's near 15 minutes.
So if you want to check it out, you can go to YouTube.
Yeah, like there were definitely many videos for you to see that awesome opening cutscene, and it actually is really good for Panzer Dragoon ZWEI. But let's get in and show how things have changed since the first game as the destiny begins.
So, okay, like I said, the game's faster and there's a lot more going on. So you can see that right off the bat as
everything looks way better. Like immediately better. The animations are more crisp. There's a lot more color and detail in all the backgrounds. You can definitely tell that this is them taking advantage of the Saturn hardware a lot more than the first game, since it was just a launch title.
I don't know if the graphics are actually any better as far as
no.
textures or anything
The frame rate is definitely
faster.
better.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a faster game, but I don't know if I'd call it like a better looking game.
I played both of these games a royal ton. If you go back and you put them side by side, ZWEI looks like almost a generation of hardware different. I don't know why. It's like something about the sound design in this game is too good, dude. And like, ever since this game came out, like a lock-on, I'm firing my laser mechanic was put into games. It was pretty much from Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah. So why don't you explain to me a little bit about what these meters are on the bottom left?
The bottom left, the blue meter is your health. Above that is a meter that regains over time. That is your pretty much berserk meter, and you can press it. I mean, you don't need to use it right now, but you will regain it over time. Just go ahead and press it right now, just to give everyone an example of what it does. If it flips out, it auto locks on everything, and it keeps using itself until it runs out of meter. So it's pretty much a ballistic mode, and here's an example of some of the crazier, bigger creatures. Stuff looks really cool, dude. Like, press that right trigger to look at them. 3D environments. Yeah, so that one recharges over time, as you're seeing right now. The more you use your weapons, it just keeps going up. Yo, kill them sand scorpions. Lock on. Locking on is how you play this game. I almost hardly never use... You only really use the laser in between locking on and the laser attacking. And then in between you just fire the gun while they're on the cooldown.
Second level.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, I think you went... Depending on which side you went, I think if you went left, you might get... Well, we'll see. I'm not going to spoil anything, but... The scenery just changed a little bit, as we see the Saturn struggling with 3D polygons on the ground. Guys behind you. They're going in front of you.
Oh crap!
So really subtle musical notes and tones. They did a good job with this game.
It's all quiet.
Oh, so you went... Okay, so going left, wow. I love that. Like, all the 2D effects flying past you. Like, this game has a pretty good way of making you feel like you're in flight, even though it's just a rail shooter. It's all Panzer Dragoon is, in the most basic sense. It's just a rail shooter. This game's pretty, man. What's funny is that if you actually compare this one to Panzer Dragoon Saga, this game actually looks better than Saga does, because they really
Saga was trying to be an RPG.
Yeah, they really had to pack in the space on that game, because there was just so damn much.
Oh, crap.
Another gigantic boss fight. I think the next level is the forest level, which is arguably one of the better ones in the game. After that is the like the steampunk tunnel.
Level.
Hey man, go for the armor first, and then go for the guns now.
That?
No, lock on. Don't use the laser. Yeah, you gotta lock on and you gotta kill all that shit. You use the gun to kill like projectiles that are coming at you, because the laser does the most damage. Use the laser in between you locking on.
No!
Live, Matt, live. Use your berserker barrage. It blows up all mushroom cloud style. And then you get your rankings, which essentially give you
route points, technical points.
And then so you did well enough to rank up your dragon.
Whoa.
And you evolve at the end of every level. So essentially now you got the dragon from the first game. Pretty much.
More or less.
This one really reminds me of the Panzer Dragoon Orta, the Xbox game. It's a very similar theme. But this level is actually really good looking. They did a good job considering the very limited amount of graphical capability of this system. Especially when you come to like the boss fights and stuff like that. This level does look really good. Aside from increasing your overall rank, later on, if you play the game enough, you unlock this thing called Pandora's Box. And Pandora's Box is like a free-for-all mode. Like, you're able to adjust which dragon you want, which skill, I think stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of give you free roaming access to any of the levels or any of the scenarios. It was fun. I think you had to put like 90 hours of playtime in order to unlock that, or something insane like that. At that point, you essentially just leave the system on at the start screen for a long time. There was a boss. This is a great one.
Oh, it's a thing from the first level.
Yep. Game's got foreshadowing. Awesome. Are you gonna be able to kill him? Oh god! Oh, look out! Oh god! Oh god! At the end, you get this insane-looking, like, creature with, like, giant armor all over it, and you have this really badass, like, thing if you do it really well. There's, like, the ultimate dragon at the end of the game that is amazing-looking. And
it's really cool, though, because you a lot of reprints in it.
Yeah, that was the idea.
This level looks almost straight out of Orta, or rather, Orta looks like it had a level straight out of this game.
Yeah. This is another level with some really awesome scenery. Once you get out of the, these base caves, which is kind of like very Star Wars-y, feels like the inspiration for this was.
Whoa!
Doors dropping, you flying through things really fast.
Ow, what?
Spitting lasers at you, dude.
Like a sitting duck here, too.
Yeah. This moment is meant to make you feel helpless, and they do a good job. There is a way to stop it. Like, you just have to hammer him down really fast. It's like moments like this where the game just stops everything for a second. You listen to the music, you look at the surroundings, and you just kind of like appreciate what's going on. You don't know if you're gonna die here, which is kind of funny.
I don't know what just happened.
And then when you start running again, music kicks in and you're back into the action. There's these little touches to this game that I learned to really appreciate when I got older, and I understood why I like this game so much. It's because they really fabricated this amazing like environment where you feel like you're in a movie.
I just died! Also, if you ever want to check out any news, previews, reviews, and especially rants, head on over to my site at gamaki.com.
With a lot of the Online Warrior production stuff, we host the videos on Gamaki as well, so yeah, give it a look. And as far as the next iteration of Sega Saturn Saturdays, we're going to take a look at pretty much one of the most insane movie spin-offs, and I don't even know if it can be considered a part of the movie at all.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if it actually started life as a movie game. I think it was just thrown in there to make it sell well in America. And
wasn't it Dynamite Deca?
Something like that.
Okay.
I believe it was a prequel to Dynamite Cop, and that is, of course, Die Hard Arcade.
Yeah.
And everyone loved this game when it came out in the arcades, and guess what? It had a Saturn version, and it was just as awesome.
So we're going to be checking out that game in the next episode of Sega Saturn Saturday, so stay tuned and subscribe if you want to check out us looking into and seeing how Die Hard Arcade stands up against the modern fighting game, the modern brawler, because there's not many brawlers around
anymore. Very
anymore.
much a 3D Streets of Rage, so.
Yeah. So until then, thank you guys very much for tuning in. My name is Max.
And I'm Matt.
And thanks for watching Sega Saturn Saturdays.
からをけナンパに比べ